Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am doing a video based on a sort of a request. I have a friend at work and for some reason her sweet daughter watches my videos, but she's kind of mad because I do not speak Italian in my videos. I do them in English. So she went to her mom and she was like, mamma, ma lei deve fare un video in italiano perché non è giusto che li faccia soltanto in inglese, io non li capisco. Since I am totally not able to do a whole video in Italian, people would laugh at me, they would throw tomatoes at me in the streets, it would be a whole thing. I thought I would find a compromise. So today I will teach you, or maybe just share with you how I've learned to pronounce Italian brands names. And I do have this pet peeve with mispronunciation of brand names, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it because I spent a lot of time of my life saying Bollinger and Jaeger-LeCoultre, so I'm not perfect by any means, but I wish someone would have told me sooner that I was saying those words wrong. So here I am as a friend telling you how to pronounce these Italian brands. And throughout this video I will also be teaching you a few words that are sort of part of these brands, just so that when you maybe are in a store or discussing it with someone, you know how to say them. Starting with Bottega Veneta. Well, this has become a very popular brand in the last couple of years. They've managed to really reinvent themselves, and I've been hearing Bottega Veneta, Bottega Veneta, Bottega Veneta, and I want to scream because it's Bottega Veneta. The brand was established in 1966 in Vicenza, which is a city in the Veneto region. Veneto, Veneta, there you go, everything makes sense. It started off as a family business and remained like that until the Gucci group bought it and sort of gave it a facelift and turned it into what it is today, basically an icon of cool fashion. Their main values are quite luxury, craftsmanship. A lot of people say that Bottega's leather is the most supple, most soft leather in the market. So not only do they have this attention to aesthetics and to the creative side of the business, but they also are very attentive to quality and manufacturing. One of Bottega's most iconic elements is their intrecciato technique. Intrecciato literally means woven, so they basically take strands of leather and braid them to create a pattern. So whenever you see those texture surfaces, you can just name drop. Oh, I love that intrecciato bag you have on you. You're Italian already. And if you look at the brand's latest launches, they are really betting on a new bag style called the Andiamo bag. Andiamo means let's go, and I do think they named it because the design of the bag is very practical. So it's just something that you pick up and go and leave out the door. Has all the elements you would expect from Bottega with that quiet luxury everybody is crazy for. Bulgari. Yes, it is written with a V, but you say Bulgari. It's not Bulgari, it's not Bulgari, and it is not Bulgari. It's simply Bulgari. An absolute symbol of fine Italian jewelry. Bulgari was created actually by a Greek artisan in the end of the 19th century, I think 1884 maybe. Bulgari is known for their very colorful, very bright creations that use a bunch of different gems in different shades, resulting in a very intricate, visually appealing design. They gained extra fame in the 50s and 60s thanks to the whole Dolce Vita trend that was going on at the time. If you guys are fans of old cinema like I am, you will know that that was the golden age of Italian film production with stars like Sofia Loren and Claudia Cardinale. Those were pretty much who every woman wanted to be, and they were in every red carpet wearing Bulgari. A few of their most iconic elements are monete, which literally translates to coins. The Bulgari family has always been interested in ancient coins, and they just use these elements as part of their jewelry creation. So you get a sort of historic feel with these types of pieces that is very original and yet very heritage, very Bulgari, very glamorous. I love it. Serpenti. Oh, what wouldn't I do to get a piece from this type of collection? You guys know how I feel about serpent and snake inspired jewelry. Well, Bulgari really draws inspiration from serpents, from our organic shapes. And you see them throughout their collections, not only in jewelry, but also in bags and in watches. So it is a very iconic code from the brand. Tupogas. This is a classic in jewelry. It is a malleable band that has its design sort of drawn from gas pipes, therefore the name tubo, gas tube. Seems like a weird inspiration, but I guess that's just how engineering and great inventions work. Bulgari uses a lot of that, especially in their watchmaking, in their necklaces, because again, it gives movement, it gives flexibility to a piece. So for a brand that loves those organic shapes, animal-like shapes, having that sort of construction really helps to deliver that effect. Salvatore Ferragamo. In this case, I don't hear it said wrong very often, but I do think that if you want to make it sound a little bit more Italian, Salvatore instead of Salvatore is much better. Just like many other success cases in Italy, Salvatore Ferragamo was created in 1927, so a long time ago. I think that something that we can draw from this is the fact that practice makes perfect. Italian brands are historic and they have been doing what they do for a long time. So that is why they can reach the status of luxury, because they deliver a really high quality product, and Ferragamo is not an exception. A few of their most symbolic elements are in Italian, so let's go over them. Gancini translates literally to little hooks or little clasps. It's so present in their pieces that it's basically impossible to ignore. They use it as hardware for bags, they use it as shapes for heels of shoes, they even use it as pattern for their scarves and they're ready to wear. Basically what the horse bit is to Gucci, Gancini is to Salvatore Ferragamo. The Vara pump. Ferragamo is known for their shoemaking excellence, and the Vara is a cult favorite. It was actually created by Ferragamo's daughter in 1978. She took over the company, she had a lot of responsibilities, she had to work, and she just wanted a shoe that would look beautiful, that would look elegant, but that also would be practical to wear day in, day out. So she created the Vara. It is a classic shape with a block heel that you can wear to the office with basically anything that you have in your wardrobe. Still look put together, but still manage to walk from one room to the next without tripping over your feet. Trifoglio. A more recent creation, but that has already gained a lot of different interpretations in the last few years. Originally, the trifoglio was a bag with 3 compartments, hence the name trifoglio. 3 folders, so 3 little compartments. Does that make sense? It has now developed into a collection in itself with a bunch of different styles, sizes, and shapes, but with one characteristic in common: the iconic gancho as a closure. Prada. Well, this one nobody gets wrong. Prada is Prada, duh. But if you're ever in Italy and you want to sound more like a local, you just have to get that R and that D very, very crisp. So instead of Prada, Prada. It is one of the most admired, sought after brands that Italian fashion has ever seen. Prada is synonymous with intellectual, conceptual luxury that is streamlined but still very wearable and desirable. They were founded in 1913, and it might be hard to believe, but Prada actually started as a luggage maker. So they were specialists in luxury luggage. They were in fact the official suppliers of luggage for the Italian royal family at the time, and they just stayed doing that for a long time until a very brilliant, very remarkable woman entered the family. Miuccia Prada, of course. Miuccia is the one who introduced the now very Prada-esque nylon to the brand. She is responsible for sort of transitioning Prada into a ready-to-wear, more lifestyle brand instead of just specific product. And she revolutionized it, not only the brand itself, but the fashion landscape in general. And we cannot talk about Prada without talking about their most iconic element, the Saffiano leather. Saffiano is a leather treatment that basically creates these grooves on the surface of the leather, making it textured, very interesting, very different from everything there's on the market. But it also makes it more resistant, more repellent to the elements. So if you spill water on it, it's not going to get ruined. It becomes a very practical bag, not only beautiful, but practical, which I think is a very Prada philosophy. So if you want something that is quintessentially Prada, get something in Saffiano. Another very Prada element is the Galleria bag. It's a very natural pairing with the Saffiano leather. So again, if you're looking for something that is Prada written all over it, that's the combination you want to go for. It was first presented in 2007 and it draws its name from the first Prada store ever opened, located in the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele here in Milan. And if you want to take a stroll down Prada's memory lane, it's still open. You can still see it. The design is classic, the lines are clean, is the sort of rectangular shape with top handles, making it a very easy, very practical, and yet very chic bag to wear. Gucci. Gucci's story is long. Is filled with drama, backstabbing, and even murder. So I'm not going to get into all of that today, but just know that it is not Gucci and it's not Gucci, it is Gucci. Or if you want to be very Italian, Gucci. Come on, do I get a star for that? And I also think that when it comes to Gucci in the 21st century, there is another Italian name that you should learn to pronounce. Alessandro Michele. Alessandro was the person, the designer responsible for what we now see as Gucci. That more eccentric, playful vibe that is not to everyone's taste, but we all have to admit has been brilliant for the brand. He has just been replaced by Sabato di Sarno, so we can all expect a lot of change coming into the Gucci identity right now. But I do think that Alessandro Michele just made a mark in fashion history and he is worthy of a mention. Well, if I go on telling you about the whole story behind Italian brands, we'll be here until tomorrow. But I thought we could do just a little rapid fire round with a few other labels that I do think deserve a mention. Giorgio Armani, the maestro. Mr. Armani to me is one of the most intriguing, important figures in Italian fashion. His sensibility to form, to fabric, to colors is unparalleled. I actually do have this fantasy ever since moving to Milan that I will just bump into him casually in his favorite restaurant, Da Giacomo, if you ever want to, bump into him as well. And we will just casually talk, exchange a few stories and jokes and become best friends. Who knows? Maybe that'll happen. Dolce & Gabbana. The much more known brand nowadays, but I do remember when I was little, still a fashion obsessed kid, and I heard people saying Dolce & Gabbana, and I just wanted to die back then, so here I am correcting that mistake now. Valentino. The emperor deserves respect. So next time you're talking about their iconic shade of red, instead of just throwing red there, like Valentino red, go for the Rosso Valentino. Just sounds right. Versace. Don't take it from me, Donatella will tell you how to say it.
It's Versace.
Moschino. It's not Moschino, it's Moschino. Brunello Cucinelli. Another brand that has become more popular lately, so I do think it's important that we don't say Cucinelli, it is Cucinelli. Brunello Cucinelli. This is it, everyone. Hopefully I haven't butchered any of these names. Oh my god, Italians, please Please be kind in the comments. I'm not Italian. I don't speak fluent Italian. I know my accent is very, very far from what an ideal Italian accent would be. So apologies if I have completely offended your culture and your creators and designers. And let me know down in the comments, do you have any brands that you have been saying wrong all your life and finally realize how to say it and feel totally embarrassed about it like I do? Let's normalize being wrong. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see each other again next time. Bye bye.